9 chapter 9 first. So is there any people who has their favorite quote from the 9th chapter? That's good one. That's good one. Yeah. Okay. No. Dina yomare. Dina yomare. Dina rola samaro di tadiri. Chigi tongba ningosta chaju sim shuk deyajmado. Mosu di.
아니 유셔나. 니 디나지 메로.
말에 디 야고도 단지 송거디 야고도. So 좀더 유주민 스타디. 너는 군주신 바도. 난 디고디 지겨라. 다 가르치. Okay.
대다동 배추남라 토바지 쇼지 관계 림르체 보면 영송과 지신 쳤었지 봐.
롤롤로스. 너도 그런데 야고도.
나서.
전담도 유주민 너는 군주신 바도. Okay.
너다가 되고.
너 데려와. 아디 자와디 아주 다시 주지기 용서기 자와도데. Excuse me. 전담 로이주 마리스. 전담 로이주 면수도 잠베테네. 지지마지히마 냠도 캐로제네. 로디 카레스는 군주 로유리 신예들이 전담 로유 신예들이야. 아니 단다 닝민 숑나 송도 직바. 제가 로다 직바니 야와지 왔지. 아니 로스니디 아니 출바. 아니 지게 아주 단단한 다 컨테미네이트 세들 파라다죠. 네 직바세야디 아니 아란조 지게 내만에 아니 딜이야 정말 슈마뇽에 정말 슈마뇽게 아니 지게 딘디지 로랑체수야 봐. 다디도 지기마 르셰디 세보하고야라 나가 슝는 마덴바 또즈 가고다지. 제자장가 제름부치기 다 지기 데 아니 치수 단다 개보마부지기 아니 딜리아 단다 로세야디 아니 투베 점지로 마고체 로세도 잠베 되게 단담 로이 주면서 로디 아니 짓디 가르소래 지타와 또베 로디기 모스도 두고 말했어. 지니바 군주베 롱아란 주다 똑바세 줘봐. 똑바디기 모스도 또 두고 말이시베 되어라고 동반이 또 두고를 쓰 뭐팁 드시 말해서 또 쓰다 레오와 고자가니.
그 순주거를 르 동반이 무슨도 또 두고 말했어.
르 시도 잠베 르 투버디기. 로 투버디기 동반이 오스도 마도베 세우시버지래. 가전스는 아주 여기 단다 동반이 오스도 토베 로디 냠샤이시스. 디시고르바. 제장가 아니 단당한 저기 동반이 오스도 토베 로 마도지기 심징규기 로 탐지 투버인스. 이거 시고르바 남겨네. 제장가 디유도 잠베 단다 단담로 유주민스도 잠베 냠샤로디 냠샤르샤지. 아니 냠샤기 주의 니레마도 지게 전담된바디 냠샤기 시기 주의레마도 아니 투베디기 아니 주의만 인세도 잠베 모성기 주의만 인세 어딜 거도와
맞아. So please let me know immediately if you can't hear because the microphone somehow doesn't pick up unless I bend myself. So we talked about the four extremes or the four complexities of the views this morning, and such as extreme views of the existence and extreme views of the non-existence and so on. So now we move to a verse in the wisdom chapter of the Shantidevas, where we have a suggestion of the a verse right at the beginning of the verse, saying that conventional, the conventional and the ultimate, the truth, and in which the Shantideva is saying the ultimate truth cannot be realized, in which like emptiness, through conventional mind, because the ultimate inner truth, is need much more, profound, the realization than just our conventional mind. And for that reason, in the Nyingma tradition, they separate between mind and Rigpa, in which the mind is still under the sway of delusion, confusion, ignorance, and so on, whereas the Rigpa is this right from its nature, is a kind of free of any stance, including ignorance. And so Rigpa is this incredibly pristine, like a wisdom. It's really free, devoid of any ignorance. It has this kind of all awareness and all knowing qualities, inherent qualities in this ultimate mind. And so for you, if you need to get a better understanding about this, then we really need to study Vajrayana. And especially when you look at some of the Lama Tsongkhapa's commentaries in the Vajrayana, as well as in the Sutrayana, when he really differentiate between the conventional mind and then the mind that really realizes the emptiness directly. And he has an incredibly clear the criterions to explain this. So for our purposes, now coming back to our take for the Gelugpas, we say our conventional mind is still consisting of the afflictions and so on. It's able to realize emptiness at a conventional level. Whereas truly to directly realize emptiness, you still have to have this like you only realize emptiness ultimately or truly in the space like meditative equipoise, namesake. And so there's in this like space like equipoise, and through in that state, one is able to realize emptiness directly.
So then, following the text, it is saying, this is how we differentiate between the Arya and then help us, ordinary being. So, and then here also, in order to understand how the Aryas look into the phenomena and how we ordinary people look into the self or the phenomena, that we really need to know quite well understanding. We need to have a quite well understanding on two truths. So sometimes there will be occasion that you might feel there's only one truth only now. And then it is okay, but right after, when you have quite a understanding, I didn't say well, I said quite an understanding on the emptiness, then you will left with some kind of a not much grasping. you don't feel this kind of you will be not going to be a very the person who complains a lot. You will be a little bit of kind of a calmness there, but the problem will be right after this, the space-like meditation, not fully understanding is there, but there is some understanding of emptiness. But then the difficult part is once you have to connect again with the after meditating on emptiness, then you have to eat, you have to go, and you have to talk, everything activities you need to do. Then sometimes not having good understanding of emptiness will be, there will be so many kind of a gap or to connect, because it's more like if you don't know how to put the things again, and then you are so fast to break it into the pieces, and then again you have to put it together, it will be so difficult. Sometimes the worst thing is like you don't want to put it again. So that is one dangerous approach is there. So that's why in Nagarjuna's the commentary, he said, who is the right person that who should investigate emptiness? So he kind of has given who is the right vessel to give this kind of a teaching. So for that reason, it is necessary the approach towards emptiness should be, we should look for a hope, or not to easily to bring something apart. But then after knowing the emptiness, and as we say, after the space-like meditation, and then they see everything as an illusion. So when you hear this, what do you feel? Do you want to see everything as an illusion? That is one big question. We say it. Do you want to see as everything as illusion? Then what will you get? So we should be very careful on this approach. It does not mean that things are exactly like an illusion. It's just like your mind projection. That will be more like how the Chitta Mantra is presenting. Like everything is the mind projection. It's nothing, something solid separately from the mind. But here in the Prasangika school, it has to do with more, as Lama Tsongkhapa here in the three principal aspects of the path. At the end, he gives this special instruction. 나왔던데 루아메 바탕 동보 캘린더 고아니 지수 수소 동도 도변으로 투배 공부 도매. If the appearance of the dependent relation, which is unbetearing, is accepted separately from emptiness, and as long as they are seen as separate, then one has not realized the Buddha's intent. 나왔던데 루아메바다 동보 캘린더 고아니 지수 수소나 뜻이도 다들 투배 공부 도매. So this is the part where we will still have the practitioner will be left with this I can kind of feel the emptiness, then seeing all the phenomena as a illusion, like somewhere I'm not ready to see this sort of thing. So then here we go, like the next to that, the Lama Tsongkhapa is saying, if the appearance of the dependent relation, no, not that one, the next, if the these two realizations are happening simultaneously without alternation is correct. Okay, alternation, and from merely seeing dependent relation as a completely unbearing, the definite ascertainment, how say that, ascertainment comes that completely destroys that's the point that destroys the way all the objects are apprehended as a truly existent at the time the analyze of the ultimate view is complete. 나와 된데 루어메와 동바 캘린더 고원이 지수 소소노 다도 토베 공부도 남시 렌저를 매봐 직접 또 덴저미로 동안 쌈니니 니시기 전당 고진 대세다외 주요 줘봐라. So when you see the illusion, then you can see that things can function even though it is not it does not exist by its own, but things can still function. Because things can function, because it is dependent on each other. And the role of the emptiness is to take away the solid thing which normally you feel, because things function, because it's solidly there. It takes away this kind of solitarily, then what is the victory for us is no more grasping. No more grasping means no more reflection will come out from this. This is the victory. So then we see the hope. Then we see illusion like that brings not just like a big question mark, it becomes like our new hope. Are you following me? Or I'm the only one who's saying and just listening at the same time? Yes.
You said because things, if you see things as an illusion, you can see that they still function. And I'm having a little bit of trouble holding that. So if you could elaborate, thank you.
규문더브디 그 자와 지기유다 규문더브니 일려 저와자 도움도 규문더브는 자와 공대적으로 편도 가려야 규문더스로 지게나 규문더스 삼바다디 디케가마 저와스 기게면 아주 규문디 양고 규문더브
디 규문더로 와래. First we all need to know what are the difference between magic and the illusion. So illusion is more powerful than the magic. Magic can be more like a kind of trick. Then if you don't see what's he's doing so fast or he has something to trick you with your eyes, then we call it magic. The illusion is something to do with the power, through the power of the tantra. So you will, you need one kind of piece of thing, and then you bless this. You need to really good enough to bless this thing, and then you will also create some kind of mantras to the audience, and then he can just put this piece of stone or the piece of the wood there, and then he will say, here's the elephant. And then the people who already get kind of a affected, or they got influenced by the mantra, they will see the big elephant there. And then, but then also the magician who did this illusion also sees the elephant, but he knows, because this is his work, he knows, and then he does not have any clinging towards this elephant. That's the how the Aryas dealing with samsara. And then here goes, there is in the audience there, he does not see any the illusion, because he cannot get kind of influenced by this mantra. So that kind of the audience is the Buddha. And he looks at there, he can see the wood. He can only see the piece of the thing what he is trying to bless. That's it. So in here, this sort of illusion like, so what we should get from this example, we shouldn't take the full picture and then try to put like, this is how the conventional or how the even things are merely labeled, this is how things function. We shouldn't put like 100% same to same, because this example are never meant to put it to the main thing like exactly the same thing. So what should we take away from this example is more like, without a clinking, if that thing can still function, that we should appreciate. Like the audience are appreciating this big elephant in front of them, saying like, this is so real, this is so good. Then they say it's just an illusion. There will be shock. But for the Aryas, like the magician himself, he can make money out of there. He can see this big elephant, all the colors, all everything, but there's no clinking. So once he take down this piece, there's no problem with him. This is how the Savartantrika presents the illusion like. So more the Prasankika school will be a little bit different. So this different will be our next time when we go through that. So it is necessary that how the things really function. In order to see this picture clearly, if you cannot take down this solid truly existence, there's no way to appreciate and understand how things function very clearly. That's the whole picture there.
네, 是的，kunzu mungu ji ge tan illusion da illusion likes ni yao qing duo.
是吧？
illusion de
对对
ma zu di
illusion
da
like
bu se jo.
double.
Di kunzu mungu ji ge da hum duo.
对
kunzu be illusion jo
illusion 差不多 yeah. So you should, as we said, illusion like. So that's very good one. Yeah. So what do you think? Oh, okay.
Would you be able to give us a little meditation practice on how you first approached trying to understand emptiness?
Mm-hmm. So when I explain this sort of thing, did you try to take this as a part of meditation or not? That's a really big question, because this is how I try to talk with myself. If you can do this, it's hard. It should be hard. Because up to now, we've been listening to the self-grasping. Now we're really listening to something else, which is completely different point of view. And now it should be difficult. But that means we are having a shelter from this problem that we've been always following the path which we think is right for us, but it always ends up some kind of misleading us somewhere which we don't want to enter. So now this is a total new approach. And also, as when we take a refuge in the three jewels, the main is the Dharma, not the Buddha, not the Sangha. Why Dharma? It's now this one. So opening the eye of up to now what we've been, so even we have eyes, but we cannot see the suffering, feel the suffering. But now we can kind of, with the kindness of our teachers, we can try to just, even it's not very clear, but we just feel like there's a big hope for all of us. So for that reason, I think the way I just explained about the emptiness and the relation with the conventional truth. So slowly, if you can take this kind of approach and try to meditate. So that meditation is not only meant to be like be silent, don't speak, and then concentrate on one thing. There could be one kind of possibility like that, but here, before going into this kind of deep meditation, but we really need to know if this way of doing mind training or this way of thinking is good enough for me or not. Am I buying the right package or not? So for this, before going into this, somehow you need to kind of advise yourself, actually, saying, buddy, this is the only hope now. Take it, otherwise you will fail again. So there is like, because at the time when I was growing up, I have this comic about it's called Tintin. So in there is the character called Captain Hadrock or something. And then he always end up in some kind of a problem. And then, so he will always, the good thing about that character is he will always have two guidance. One is the angel with like with the what it's called, halo on the head, and we always try to say, be good, don't think like this. And then he has another like the devil saying like, do this. So we need these two things in us. So then you know, after now listening to this, somehow it didn't work well. But with this, I think this could be my hope now. So this is why I think debate system becomes very helpful to kind of debating with yourself, that to refute what this the grasping, how the grasping has so much influence on you. So then you have enough skills to debate with this grasping, and then automatically you will take a refuge into the selflessness. It's a really tricky word, selflessness. And the emptiness, because the some there is kind of saying that normally the teachings, when Buddha was giving teaching, it's not like he says there's no self. He won't say something like that, but then people from the outside of the Buddhist school will always saying like, are you going to listen about this no self, no self? You're following this selflessness point of view. So then it kind of become to look down on the Buddhism. So then how it we got the name of the selflessness. But actually, our focus is not just the selflessness only. It is more to see the reality very clearly, to the self, to see the self very clearly, to whatever it is, to see this reality. Seeing this reality, the true reality of that, then you can see, yes, this can happen. That's why seeing the emptiness, we will have more faith in law of causality. That's incredible. Who would say this? Otherwise, we would just say like, I see emptiness, then I think like, okay, I don't feel anything to cling. That's it. But here, in another approach, like Lama Tsongkhapa says, seeing emptiness, then seeing how the things really functions, and then it really gives you a kind of push or a different kind of motivation that to do more practice. So then Lama Tsongkhapa clearly, I think he could be the one person who would say that not only this emptiness, but also when you see the dependent rising, when you see this, it itself has some kind of influence on us that we can destroys it. The definite ascertainment comes that completely destroys. But seeing this dependent origination, 남실은 좀 해봐 지저 덴제 밀루 세지 덴제 주고 많이 붙이 덴제 밀루 통화 점니네 점세디 덴제 밀루 통화 점니네 안예시기 진단 군지 그래스 다들도 와.
So when you see the dependent origination, not only when you see the dependent origination, but the dependent origination itself is not deceptive. You truly see that's the working of the dependent origination. And as soon as you see the dependent origination is not deceptive, it's conventionally it's working, but lacking the intrinsic nature. And through that, then it will help you to dissolve or destroy this your kind of extreme view on like a solidity of, or the inherent nature of the phenomena. So the dependent origination, the seeing the functioning of the dependent originations help you to understand the better emptiness.
What I often feel is that things can function because they are empty, dependent, not because they are illusion-like. Saying something is illusion-like is perhaps the best our limited language can describe reality as it is, without falling into either extreme.
딘디기 남샤도네 수은 주잠바 뭐버 컨디션 비내래 지기 딘디다 딘춘이야 이거는 돈이 벌린 소도 동문이 삼단 딘주 삼단에야 딘주 삼단도 동문이 관련 도도 동문이 삼단도 딘주에 관련 도도 깔래가 쇼들 가르선 댕기들이 혼자 규모도 부서져라 규모도 보기 안에 저기 규모도 안에 자화치기 요소져라 디 삼단이 삼바 안에 데스강아 체도 디 규모도 무슨 얘기다 지 코르란지 매버질 유버 초단교래
그래 규모 세상에 규모다고 레세 되기가 세보다나시 규모다고 레세도 잠배 코랑기 뇌에 속도버지 매버 이나양 내가 다다 지기여자 규모다고 레시스 라버마도 고베디 자원이 메디니 고 통어스 통대지 레야 규모스기죠 말이지.
That's right. So here the main thing is illusion like like a functioning things functioning I don't know, like illusion like. So this is because we're seeing this illusion like by suggesting that it kind of overrides the inherent nature in the working of the things. But we're not denying as a conventional existence. That's the key thing. So illusion like immediately draws saying we're not denying or extreme denying of how things function. So the illusion like functioning draws, overcome this one extreme, denying it. But also at the same time, it's established that it's lacking the intrinsic nature in it.
Okay.
Yes, Rinpoche. Does the reference to without alternation refer to the Buddha's ability to see convention and ultimate truth simultaneously? Or is it within a space like equipoise?
맞아 남시 레저미를 직자도
네네네.
덴데밀로도 삼스러와
요.
디 상계에게 디시기어래 나라도 김배 디 가르이 있었으면 냠이 이시가 뒤통고
냠샤이시가
냠샤 이시가 뒤통고데 디 상계에게는 유는 다과 디시되고 상계 사수는
I don't think we need to wait until to become a Buddha to see this. 가서래 난조배부터.
the alteration.
Alteration. Otherwise, we will become like a kind of a become hopeless. So, dear, we as Lama Tsongkhapa's ways of the explanation, it's something I think when you see the emptiness, and then at the same time, when you feel there's nothing truly existing by its own, then automatically you are not left with a kind of a big question mark. It should be more like an answer. It's more like answer because it is saying because things does not exist by its own. What does that try to prove to us is because it's dependent. So this is the how we need to get used to the emptiness. Because it's emptiness, things can function. Things can function because it's emptiness. So get used to this kind of exercise, mind exercise, again and again. Then what comes to getting this kind of warm-up, it's more like you won't get tiredness or unhappiness or not have a joy when you do the practice of emptiness. So slowly, my teacher have some cool quotes and also some kind of advice. Maybe in the sutra there is a possibility for the sentient being in one mind that we can understand the emptiness and the dependent origination at the one mind that can see together simultaneously, but it's a huge debate in the sutra, because sentient beings' mind is not kind of capable, because when we say nyamsha madobe and simjingi gyugi sheba kantiji na and truvatis.
So it's saying that unless you're in a total equipoise, the space like equipoise, the remainder of our mental activities are usually affected by confusion.
So in the Tantra now, this is the hope. This is the hope. Because now we need to check whether we do have the subtlest, the mind, and which it's not, it kind of, when if you can bring this up, it is more like a
Confusion.
Confusion free the mind. So this is our hope. And once this come to realize emptiness, then you don't need any effort to bring like eons and eons of merit or so much, because this mind is already powerful. So then this is the like a different level of talk, different level of understanding. Yeah. I think this is what I need to say at the moment. Okay. Yeah. So now you guys ready for the transmission? Your question? You have a question? Oh.
Would you be willing to share if you have any memories of your previous lifetime or how you rebirth as a tulku?
It's a difficult question, because if I say yes, not guarantee it's like a 100% real or not. And if I say no, it will be a little bit lie. So to be honest, when I was very young, I'm a kind of a child who is a little bit overconfident. So because I kind of, before I was kind of recognized, I claim myself as I'm the one. I kind of say that. And normally we say child can be innocent, but I don't know I'm that innocent that time or not. But the good thing is I don't know what are the benefits being Rinpoche, but I just wanted to say that, and that's how I said it. Not only I just said I am my friend, childhood friends teased me saying he claimed he is a Rinpoche, and then I said I'm not only second Rinpoche, but I am the not other than the great Kalachakra holy lineage. I will say all this sort of thing. I don't know why I said those things, but to be honest, what is the greatest memory being Sekon Rinpoche is to remember his great qualities. Especially, he could have many qualities, but one of his best quality is his Guru devotion to His Holiness Dalai Lama. So that still it's lacking in me. That which I am looking forward to. If somebody would ask me, not just if I remember my predecessor's memory or something, but if somebody could ask me something, if you wanted to remember something from your past life, what would that be? Then my answer is very clear. The Guru devotion, how he looks to His Holiness Dalai Lama. That is something I'm missing. This piece. That is, sometimes I become incomplete Sekong Rinpoche. Mostly. Most of the time. So anyway, at the childhood, when I was very young, even I came to Ganden when I was 6 years old, one of the biggest monasteries in the down south India. And then there's one attendant, or the elderly attendant of my predecessor, who nobody told me about him. And then he was in the line of the other monks. And then I just went towards him and said, called by his name, Gonchok, how are you doing? And he never studied with my predecessor. He was the person who escaped with my predecessor from Tibet to India. And because his behavior can be something very difficult. He can be a difficult person. So that's why he didn't get along with the rest of the attendants. So he stayed somewhere else for such a long time. And then my predecessor will always tell him, you need to practice. Konjo, you need to practice. And then my predecessor would say, I give up on you, so I won't say anything now. So in the future, there might be a time that you will appreciate the Dharma and be more aware of our past and future life. So then in this life, when I first meet him, and I call upon his name, and then I say, how are you? And he said, automatically, all this memory came in front of him. And then he said, now on, I cannot do much practices. I always do Om Mani Padme Hum 1,000 times, only because you proved there is in past and future life. So this is one thing that now it's not very clear, to be honest, I said that or not, but because he is the one who always comes with me like 12 bananas. Every time when he comes to 12 bananas, and put it in front of me with the kata, and then he will look at me and say, he would just stare at me like that. I'm supposed to say something. And he will look into my eyes and wait for, and I just say, can you stop staring and then tell me what you want? And he just wanted to, he will repeat every time about what really happened that day. And sometimes I feel quite annoyed by this. Yeah, so so there are a few instances something like that happened. But still, same that I need to study, practice. The same again. Maybe, who knows, I have a little bit more better inference. That's so hidden. So yeah. The best thing is being Sekong Rinpoche's reincarnation, is we can meet each other. If I'm not the Sekong Rinpoche, there will be some other else, maybe, who knows, maybe we have a different way of interacting. So this also completes something else. Yeah. Okay. So now I do the transmission. There are so many benefits to have the transmission. The one of the greatest thing when you get the transmission is when you receive this transmission, that means you got some kind of a special connection to this text. That means I'm going to hold it. And you have to hold it so dearly that it's like, now it's not somebody's, it's mine. This is a nice one. Yeah, that's a very nice one. Oh, it's very auspicious. So yes, good. So, and then the lineage, it comes from the some from Buddha, and from the mostly I received all these transmissions from His Holiness Dalai Lama. So then it comes like in order to hold this lineage, we need to appreciate this text, and then you keep it more secretly, or every time when you have this text and read it, you should feel more connected. Because the faith in here, the faith really matters. Because sometimes when we see how the attachment can be so powerful, I got this iPad quite recently. So in the Manhattan, this very huge Apple store, Grand Central or something. I went there. I go, oh, this looks like a huge temple, Apple temple. And then I went there, and people I asked, do you have this model or something? Then they came up with like, well, this is good. Okay. And then he comes, so you want that? Okay. And then he comes with this iPad, and then I give him money, and then he said, do you want to open it now, or I said later? So then when I look at this package, it looks so better already, because it's mine. I don't care what other product, what it happens with the other products. If there's something, little damage here, it's so painful for me. So right away, I asked George, my host, if I can put some screen guard and everything to protect it. Similar like this, right after when you receive this transmission, this is how you have to hold it. Not using the attachment, but the prayer and a wish to this kind of knowledge. Especially today, we are going to do the 100 names of Manjushri. Who is Manjushri? Manjushri is not other than the deity of the wisdom. We lack wisdom. Without wisdom, there's no way to get out from this suffering. So, taking homage to the homage to the Manjushri is not a Manjushri out there. It's a Manjushri inside here. That guy can become a Manjushri, and I can become a Manjushri like him. That's how we go. Teaching Chewa. This is very good translation from the Tathagata. So in English, I don't know how you translate.
Gone to the police.
Yeah. So the connotation of that is something like once he has gone through this, he has been successful. And before that, it happened something like that. Right after he went on this path, teaching Shepa. And now here we go. It's my turn. Like it's more like you are in the one of the best restaurants in Brooklyn, and lining up, like you can see the person gets to sit and have a dining table somewhere, and then next one goes, and you feel like my turn is coming. Yes, yes. So this kind of thing, that's connotation of teaching Shepa is there. How they will eat, I will eat like this. How they're doing this, I'm going to do like this. Similarly, with this, making a special connection with all these beautiful, precious texts, that means making, holding to the lineage means like staying in the line now. You have to feel it. Okay, so now let me do the Manjushri, 100 names of Manjushri. So it doesn't matter if you don't understand what I'm saying. It is really necessary to the one thing you can do is whatever in the text it is written, that may I can pray like that, may I can attain the enlightenment like this. Teaching Shiva, Tathagata. So feel like this, and then I will I will recite that in Tibetan language, whom I got from His Holiness directly. When I was, I think, 5 years old, and I don't know what's going on. Same boat. Yeah, we are on the same boat. Then my memorizing skill is very bad. So then my attendance was told I have to memorize this and have to recite it every morning. So I did that almost maybe 6 years. Somehow it changed. So it's incredible, even without much faith. I'm just doing like how the parrots start talking, something like that. So yes, with such a great motivation, just listen to this. 법원 전배지 되는 양답을 주고 주고 자가게도 아야마 주시에 남아 상황게 대표적으로 법원 전배지 되는 거 양답을 주고 주는 주고 봐라 차서도 대내반도 도지장 누구도 만남 주고 보지는 순례제도 주고 주상회제 범하고 보진 대신 범하진 대신 바란지라도 도지쇼 양단 도수제 뭐 전여름 받아나 소라나 도지 다에 보도 보지수로 더 봐지는 도지 좀 뭐로 바란지라도 수제 뭐 예신아 치러 타결이 된 시베 가구람배 선보진 주요를 준수는 뭐 선제진의 집에 르드는다는 제도 디진식 버전에 대한 조언지나 사전은 특문지로 시내에 정하도록 되겠어요. 저도 다른 바당 다른 다른 두지 유료대원 접에 전주진은 너는제 몸면의 심료신 미동도 정화에 수요가 나면 바당 다음에 주보도 제제 접에 선제 주면은 알아마도 뭐 통제 심보진이 이제 오버서 버진 조제 주면이 시고 수도신 보스에 이고대라 저완 전배 예선바에 전에한다 저배조 통서는 제시는 저 주면에 시와 동화보다 더 제보한 대배선제는 교수 뭐는 교수 저라 더 주면서 선제 양다에도 소마가 주인주로 더버려 도저 전자상하자 보면 남게 라라 저저 공부전은 지금 이제 선생님은 더 주시 예바 준비보도 된다 예선바 대배선 님 어려서 다 미세도 정원이 심지고 남선바에 쓰면 천배 제바 지진도 선 사회라는 도시에 디진시라 디게도 순에도 먼저를 되는 정도 되는 준비시야도 저버선 얘기는 좋니 내져서 말이 시험 보전데 지금 손번호 되지 두시는 도저 보았으면 아니에요. 용화집에 좀 되네 상표수는 예바에 지금 숨고 공간에 라나 도저 도버지 상회도는 나좀 봐 인시던 주주배 돌아ppe 배든도 주 시도 연전배제 천년도 주 대전에 최저번에 대한 저보다 더 봐지는 데서 봐 알아님 봐 저번에 레소반도 도저 상라나 도저 결례도 상회도 어디 제니 출라려고 전에 되지 이전에 좀 되는 레저스 드나 좀 시작도 상하링아 전나 전에 통제당 상하링아 참여를 수나 나버스 지든 대베레 지든 어제를 현당 세계 준비를 줘도 하죠. 저도 선생님 뒤에다 와서 문제 상하지 버는 니즈메고 중화다 미제 지인데 좀 봐. 이우 예요 말을 되잖아 모델 아무도 보다는 더 오든 어미서도 저도 어떤 데는 어디 있잖아가 연구를 주시 알아봐잖아야 돼 남아 안 돼서 이제 좀 전에 저버서 이제 알려 좀 아니 누구 주시고 당신 예단 바에 큰에 중앙 저하면 수도 저 공부들 저 하고 주지 저거 그냥 저 지열도 서와제 저바시 문도 자제 선전에 제가 와제 저바시 뭐 저단지 요모고대로 저바시 뭐 티모지 티모도 티모지 저바시 뭐 좋아제 좋아지 뭐 저바시 뭐 잡아제 저바도 내가 좀 대화제 가지 뭐 그거지 수저들 저바데 가도지 로고시 민신 이제 저바 증거 좀 양반이 싫어 주냐 나와도 뭐지 요새 저 저전이라 좀 보다 나와 좀 서와제 줄이 좀 유리 좀 가베가 줄이 좀 미르제 이다 좀 보도 들은 좀 보자면 저 수련 좀 왔다 뭐 들을 좀 전류의 전부 되어야 삼대 전부 전에 싫어 전부 도장 와도 뭐지라 더 저 뭐놈이 저도대 전전에 전부도 아니 전부 저 싫어 전부도 전에 개와 전부도 저 와, 줄이 좀 뒤에 저 전부 줄이 좀 저러 와도 좀 너뭐 스베로 뭐 전부 좀 최전도 전부 좀 저거 전부 저 이제 저 공부 저 전부 라마상 지고 저 대화 전부 수단에 대화 전부 저 선전 넘어서 저 도와 전부 동전도 상하도 전에 좀 상하 중에 이제 버려주죠 버려주마다라네 버려주마 준조 다와대 버려주마 주의수 공부서 공주대 서주도는 뭐 시점도 다니지 시점도 정하고 나머지고 등주등 동안도 제배다 그래도 나무 남중원대 저뭐 동안에 주면다 대신이다 다외 다와대 뭐 시점에 줘 지금 뭐 어딘지 예수면도 님에도 야다도 남았네 담에서 예를 모델단에 제 권한을 되는데 디진시에도 저 저와다 나머지 콜로 저도 보죠 수요도 수요 수요 언어대 도전 저와 좀바대 도전 진행이 되면 저 지지다 마체 봐 지금 트다에 지대보다 뭐 뭐 진행 좀 뭐 치면도 뭐 치면 뭐 전반한 뉴스 이제는 저를 중앙신 뭐 주제 뭐 연어를 좀 써봐서 이제 저 공부 대원이 비지면도 수를 저 원이 원매를 보다는 간반된 지지된 집에 저 다게 미생하면서 대만이 그에 바라다 좀뭐 저거 감선에 셔버지 버시면서 뭐 실업 전전은 셰르 전전 나온 좀뭐 도제 주에서 봐야 나와서 실용을 레벨을 뭐 돈에서 뭐 주버도 너도 원하지 봐 나와면도 이면서 중요한 나와시면서 중요한 담보세 미시 순환대 뭐 수험조 이시 중요지 이시 대한바 유미지 소녀촌에서 뭐 더하고는 요즘 섬섬섬 저 소설을 미워 최도 뭐 고동장 선유군에 다니지 쳐다 생각이다 선행하다 정하죠 매화장 선녀도 이제 뭐 선녀서부터 매주 10회 정도 되면 최도 중앙서버서 15세로 도제다 개마토는 되다 난가를 주는 중앙 이시를 좀 해보지 매제 나온 이제 나와라면 먼저 뭐 이시를 지지 좀 해서 방 아중하다 ring아제 상하지부터 저도 뭐 민주주의 남겨도 노조된 선유군 아니고 저 중간입니다인데 나도 저 뭐 주진 저 같은 문제를 손정화 상하자 더 좀 상하자 소군이 손서 봐 대고 좀 뭐 되죠 뭐 저도 저도 저 셔버제도 이제 저버제 주여지고 이제 미주로 도는데 그런 뭐 하라로 던져 뭐 신시고 이제 또 이제 뭐도 저도 전에 줄여도 도저히 도저도 조진이 뭐 하러와 미여러 가지 이제 나지고는 요즘 다장 하시로 뭐 히히시로 지고 제 뭐 좀 그냥 도저히 뭐 저러 뭐 도저히 뭐 도저히 뭐 도저히 도저히 저거 거제 도저히 혼동으로 선 도전도 뭐 도저히 뭐 요저 도저히 그는 도저히 도저히 지고 요소 도저히 뭐 미면서 짜인 도저히 뭐 되미 도저히 뭐 배워제 미겨봐도 도저히 면 도저히 보고전 도저히 뭐 집에도 서머제도 도저히 뭐 뽑아져 도저히 좀 변화된 도시 진행보다 그냥 하냐 버로 이제 누구도 저러 전에 좀 버려 줘 지는 순으로 줘 봐나 여다 보다 다단데 만나 줘 아니다 다음에 진행 다음에 진행에 돈이 많이 주요 돼서 이제 로고 쉬어 줘 버로 이제 쉬어 근데 또 이제 미래년도 뭐 쉬어 주정 어제 수면선 나도 이제 이제 손하다 전에 배 손에 먼저 좀 뭐 좋아 믿어 저거로 공정도 좀 보다 반하시는 돈은 내가 가지고 뭐 쉬어도 지는 순으로 쉬어 줘 내년 뭐 찍어다 수면 전에 전정만 두고 저 지된 실로르변 지된 저 지된 루변 지고면 고려 지된 요저 뭐 자동 저 받으면 남겨도 현재 준비 시zo 머리 거니 보죠 뭐 스베로 가지 뭐 뭐냐 뭐를 시제 뭐 거의 제도 버려지 신고 주변 장 조보선 정도도 요즘에 연시에 숨다 이래서 도 주보고는 이 말이 하다 나면 너는 요마다 요모 지마 근데 대 두선 되면 도 뭐 숨지 그래도 좀 뭐죠 또 저는 저도 요모고는 나로 와는 저도 나라네 봐 이신도 보신 보전 초다를 지고 저도 산 바섬 시제 제와 대 무슨 제바섬 지고 이제 vend는 신 바섬 시제 뒤에 다 하다 정도는 리시즘 좀 보지 않는 그래서 나 저와 보이는데 이제 취재 좀 뜻이 뭐 답을 주냐라 이제 우연 좀 가지를 뭐 전부 대 구대는 저 무슨 소리 저도 그게 다 전신 전소 대제 또 뭐저 왜 지내를 가지고 뭐를 써봐 주고 저는 저 하면서 주변 동동 하던 수분 거 하면서 고동이 정말 저거도 제가 정말 너무 고도만 더 정말 이제 뭐 좀도 저도 번을 왜 쉬고 저 보니 이제 이제 라고 이제 다니도 소도 저 뭐, 저를 뭐 좋아하면 좀 봐. 매면 또 이제 매주고 저 뭐, 해서 뭐 되면 저 매면요 뭐 좀 봐. 신도 써서 다 그지 그래 뭐 나 봐서 배치에 대해 시스템에 정말 나 봐도 통지로 주는 또 숨 산지에 저 봐서 또 뭐 또 봐서 이제 정말 시도 이제 지금 저 뭐, 뭐 또 봐서 뭐 생겨 저 매고 또 봐서 뭐 시정 하다나도 선보 비교 나나 뭐 저 저거 뭐 Menamore Jimmy do Menamore Jimmy do me Numoni, Dacha so much about Dungu. Jigden Sumi Choba, the Pande, you watching Gojan, Chujo, and Yotoba, Chi, and the was on the Yambades, and then you can watch Pande Jimaka, Chalajan, Sanju, 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 Tambaje, Doja, Jungo, Jugo, when you did, when you went out to John, when you just Sanju, when you do Sanju, when you told the Sanju, when you put, Sanju, when you swing, and Jinimana, and charge 당보 차바데 저거 그런 뭐 저지 그런 동안 산지를 뭐 반도에 맞지 군지 신도 뭐 지구주는 도장 채워서 되는 거죠 도저는 뭐 이게 저도 나보다 대화 좀 되냐 저 전에 좀 도저什么 전화도 저지부터 이제 바로 좀 그거는 사는 거냐 전화는 나보다 받으면 이제 양도 이제 저 전에 저거 돼 지구주는 도저는 내만데 시고 나보다 좀 그런 정도로 사이닝 물어봐 잖아요 선생님 뭐지 주고 나서도 쉬운我不跟你人家我不跟你人家基本上那做点凶我你这么起来这么个那个了就跟都说不就跟我都把这拖了什么的没有的都没当做上就感觉就上就公公司이게 이제 그래서 되게 돈 받아 되냐 손나 저는 저 무슨 몇군 저 왔으면 좀 전화 저 뭐 너지 뭐 미세리 저 와서 너지 그냥 변화돼 뭐내 몸도 수상 막 나와지 고 이제 거기다 제가 저 반대 나와지 간 나는 게 지금 뭐 가지고 사이 지금 시 지금 컴바이지 되잖아요 간다서면 저 잠을 되는 뭐 되지 뭐 대신이 주제된 답변을 주고 맨날은 수는 선은 주는 내용 어디만 나가 또 뭐니가 저 로스베도 저 좀 봤으면 거 좀 더 찍어도 보시는 거 무슨 얘기인데 왜 니마치 근데 스메트는 주제 맞춰서 어떻게 저 저런 거좀 뭐 전주를 비전에 진행한 거 뭐 주주가면 도전에 진짜 뭐 좀 쉬고도 전주 하면 또 되지면 남지 하나 그 줄에 jan다 선에 벌써 요거는 시자 나도 저거 심지군이 이저 심지군이 이들 쪽 심지군이 이된 심지 군지 원된 시 심지군이 이 저거 구멍하는 게 나다 구멍하죠. 니 중국에는 내 버전 거는 이些거는 내 버전 거는 뭐 양나 중에서 다원 나 버전 이 중에 나 버전 시버지 또 버전 되는 나 버전에 대해 나 버전 나 버전 진짜 나 버전 이거 산주 군지 주고 저 먼저 이제 좀 봐도 심지 이제 되는 나 대버전은 되던데 태우선이 좀 대버전에 되는 냐마다 이제 가서 제가 주고 주고는 저 가지고 되는 뭐 뭐고 뭐 받아 잡아도 뭐 닝지 좀 진짜 들어도 되는 저 버전 20분이 되는 나 남시 되네 내가 가봐서 심지 군지 심지 군지도 저 심지 군지 예를 예를 뭐 심지 군지 다냐 심지 대다수 같은 거죠 심지 군지 심지 군지 얘가 와도 다 나오면 나와도 나와 또 좀 어디에서 이제 다 보면은 좀더 이게 좀 지라지 이게 좋아서 산지군 정서 뭐 20이지 이러면서 르기 전에 또뭐 손나서 근데 누구 좀 버는 산지군이 또 저 산지 전 남에 상가리 상하래 버려서 뭐 상하도 이제 뭐 들려 좀 이제 몇 동거 뭐 이거 들려 좀 보여주고 나 보고는 주로 하나 뭐 주로 제대로 장하라 몇 줄에 선지 시부터 선지 한다고 이제 뜻을 주고 뜻을 주고 저 먼저 저 이제 주고 저 선지 좀 이제 저저저 만나서 이제 진짜 완전 하다 나와라 하이다고 하면서 주변 뭘 하이다 주변 좀 이제 수비 공부를 이제 어떤 뭐지 우리 라지는 주로를 취지 지나 저 참고 거자 좀 뭐든 이제 이제 이렇게 싫어를 해도 되는 거 보여줘도 되고 어디 지고 서 와서 되냐 보다 먼저 먼저 보서 이제 내 주변도 왜 나 따로 뭐 저 구여 저 찾아 보려면 지는 수 먹고 저 크다 되면 너무 손에 좀 맞다 보다 의지를 줄여서 이제 좀 지내 싫어버려 좀 싫어버려 좀더 싫어하게 되냐 다른 싫어든 거 그나 병가 별자고는 되고 시다 시도 보죠 또 오지 저 쉬지 찾으신 분이 되는 거 왜냐 건 이제 좀 이제 좀 나도 되냐 나만 지는 수는 이번에 저건 좀 해보면 추진도 중에 나도 저 돈이든 좀 산지 전주 철로도 산지 저거 절로 산지 돌아 저도 산지 제발 절로 산지 올라 저도 산지 좀 보셔도 산지 저도 산지 순이도 산지 돌아 저도 매번 저도 산지 중앙전 난갈을 좀 저리 지르는 줄로 저도 산지 좀 줄로 통제도 저리 시군 줄로 하면서 뭐 아버서 뭐 비도 저리 아 대다 저 야나가 야보다 넘어서 서와다다가다 서와다다가다 야나가 뭐 주시리아 와서보다 뭐냐 하 서와다다가다 리다야 하라하라 홍 리바가와나 야나 모디 우기슈라 서와다마 아말라서 버리슈다 다마다도 야나가바 아 대내받아 도시장 것인 거냐 뭐 저 공부 좀 이제 도저히 자선 되는 공부 상에다 란도 로je 나도 저는 해도 상에 나 공부 이랑 원래 전에 봐서 나를 리고 서와 예로 그러면 너네 더 너도 뭐 신주도 이제 버스나 봐든 달레벨 서전이나 주로 되는 거 봤으니 미든 저 버스는 좀 내자 미는 저는 되는 거 좀 이제 와셔도 손발로 버릇도 okay that is one of the most super fast 100 names of Manjushri. Without a coffee, I did it. In this between texts, one great master, Duchen Lalita, when he was reciting the 100 names of Manjushri every day, and then one day he was so become aware of this, like Shinji. How do you Shinji the Yemen Taka? And then he was thinking like, I feel so connected. I need to do something about this. I need to figure out who is holding this text. So then he meditated, and then somehow he had the visions. So this is how all the Yamantaka teaching started. So this is the key. Okay. So now, three principal aspects of path. That is Lord. Also, we can say this is the 3 baskets. Whatever if you wanted to check whether this practice is suitable for you or not, then you need to make these 3 baskets, and then in which practice it goes, then you to recognize. This is very helpful. Any kind of practice, of Dharma practice. 람선남 무슨 쇼소 제존나만나라 차즈로 제베소라고 제는 배도연 제존나만은 영가별로 kin도 다도는 미 중원의 지단이 신다 제바자 간다서베다 남자신의 조도연 제제 저와제별로 인도 베겐데다 다회 유 남바니 좀 버스도 예들이 되는 시베 타면서 라간베 제도 전나고는 지도 많이 휴즈에 조정가 처럼 너무 예라고 베스는 나셔도 렌데밀로 코에 동에나 예선은 시면 나셔도 대다고 고변도 예매 기조자임 인생권도 타바되냐 로준한테 전년 제발라 준년 중대 남다스미제 스마면 남의 신주선 표조제베 주로면 런던 남의 신주선 조제 수라 초시 유전 도관리 제시면 난전자지 되어 보수 주 머리 몸 맞은 군에 대해 눈이 숨이 유지면은 내려가던데 주요만 이제 가져서는 심지어 개반저 니로도 비시라면 아니 신주선하고 검제 장습을 도와줘 면에 되게 되는 또 달라베 관시 고대선 탐지 제주는 로아 미션이 미비대서 관이 군시 버드는 선이 제별로 쇼가 나와되는 로아메 받은 또 막히는 거고 아니 지수도 나왔는데 단에 투에 공부도 하면 나시는 좀 해봐 진짜 때려밀로 동안 점년 이제 대세다 왜 저번 저발라 신나 왜 요소 나온 때려밀로 신나 왜 요도 세보다 동배면다 동배면다 세신 동반이 유단 제부 서비스 수르시나 탄세다 왜 저거 저도 대달로 요소 오늘 내 나랑 이제 도 왜서 엠바데도 준도 땡겨도 많이도 좁시 부 that completes the 3 principal aspects of path. And then I think Shakyamuni, Buddha Shakyamuni's mantra, right? The recitation. And Manjushri. Okay. So as Lama Tsongkhapa said, there are so many great qualities to remember Buddha Shakyamuni. But one of the things that how Lama Tsongkhapa remembers his the great Shakyamuni Buddha is through his teaching, especially the teachings on the dependent origination. He said, if Buddha does not have, right after the emptiness, he does not have anything to talk about dependent origination, he might not teach the emptiness, because he has one of the best teaching to offer us. That's why he taught emptiness. So, okay. Yeah. So we should be very grateful for having this opportunity gathering, and especially to listen and to contemplate, and especially you can take it home as a takeaway, and then you can use or generate this whenever you feel it's necessary. Even it's urgent, we need to use it, but be gentle on yourself and give more time to yourself, and then practice however you wanted to practice, but stay on the track. Okay, so remembering the Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching, the Four Noble Truths, and especially the teachings on the dependent origination, and then we are I'm giving you this the transmission of the mantra. 관계 투진이 손에 따와 담제 방배지 담배 주네 의견 제변 고담제라 차체로 오케이 repeat after me okay Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Soha Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Soha Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Soha. So in order to know, to have the realization of the emptiness and the dependent origination, we need to not only our the mind and the motivation is not only enough, but we need special inspirations or the blessing from the Manjushri, who is not other than all the great beings wisdom appearing in as a form. That's the Manjushri. So let's make a deep connection with him by reciting his mantra. So here I give you the transmission of the Manjushri. Omara Bazanadi. Omara Bazanadi. Omara Bazanadi. So now let's do it together. Omara Bazanadi. So whenever we recite Manjushri's the recitation, and His Holiness tells us that the D, we have to have the visualization of the D should be somewhere in our the back of the tongue, and then it's the D is the pointing towards the shu, the shu the kanalolta, ne the nalolia, this is tamegi this is the dinema and it does paviatis.
So when we recite this syllabus D, first of all, you visualize a D laying down and facing its head toward your back of the tongue, toward your stomach. And as you recite the D, a duplicate of this D dissolves to your heart. As you're saying D, it's dripping. And then eventually, when you said the final D, and that visualized the syllabus D goes and dissolves at your heart.
No. And not just to be happy because it dissolved. And more he is, now with this blessing, what are you going to do? So that is the more powerful. Mostly what we do is we want a blessing and then we go back to sleep, but not to use this wisdom. So we ask this for it. So we are going to check whether it's working better or better or better. So please think like this. And then also the wisdom has to become you more compassionate. It's not kind of a study or this kind of wisdom is to you become number one and get a good degree and a good job, a good money. Not this. This is opens a way to have a better compassion, stronger compassion, and connects to the other people much more stronger. So that's more like Manjushri and Chenrezig working together. So otherwise, like when we do wealth deity, people think wealth is coming. Wealth is coming. No, it's not coming. It's more like you have to wish to benefit the sentient beings, and in order to do that, you need some kind of materials and you got whatever they need. So we have this practice. For most people, they do very, with respect to the sentient being, can say, do many stupid things, which we, in order to make a good money, we don't need the help of the deity. You need a good education, and then go to school and go to the study business, and then you need to use your own common sense how to make a good money. So that we are always neglecting the best part of the Dharma, and then somehow we end up in your own negative emotion, and then using this Dharma to, I don't know, to become a successful samsaric person. It's a very kind of sad thing, sad news for Buddha, sad news for our gurus. So we should be very careful about that, because my master, my teacher, he would say, he is the Gengyasula, so my teacher's teacher. He would say, I don't have like a intelligence like you guys have, but what I have that you guys don't have is the choice effort. I feel with this choice effort, I can kind of become together clairvoyance and maybe some magics. I think I can do it. But I always pray, may I don't get into this kind of magics and clairvoyance and everything before the bodhicitta. Otherwise, I don't know how much harm I will bring to myself and others. So he always prayed, this can wait, but only bodhicitta I need to have before. So that's a very Buddha's way of approach. Very kind, very generous teaching. So this thing like this, then what else? And now I think it's 4. So now this session of weekend course is finished for this time. So and then we continue tomorrow at 7:30, and then people who might be not coming or coming, I don't know who's coming, but people who might not be coming, don't worry, because whatever whoever is here, I have shared the whatever I think it will be best for you. How many times I get confused, lost in the dark when practicing, how my teacher helped me to bring this guidance that I shared with you. So, and I'm so happy that I can, whether how this the course has given you any influence or not, but I'm super happy that I can share this knowledge, which my teacher gave me so much. And then also I felt so helpful through his kindness, not just sounds good or I agree with him, because I not only agree or that sounds beautiful, but I also practiced and felt this is it. This is what I really need. So I felt this way. So then while having this kind of experience, I'm sharing this, I feel honored. I feel so great. So thank you for your giving your attention towards Dharma. So also we have to appreciate ourselves, because how these like 2 days that we can discuss about Dharma, especially how our mind works and how to search for the truth or the search for the light to get out from this kind of a delusion or illusion. So how can we get this? So Buddha has gone through that. Bodhisattvas are going through that. His Holiness has gone through that. They have always given us a guidance. So we try to follow this path, and we have the best thing is the guidance is here, and the books are the books of the great master is the real teaching, essence of the teaching is there. So we have to make a good use of this. And this is how we should feel. I'm so fortunate, because the rest in this world, there are so many sentient beings in this world. They don't hear the name of bodhicitta. They have never heard of the word of sentient beings. And then forget about getting out of samsara, and then also great compassion, all these great things. I don't mean we all completely believe that thing exists or not. But when hearing this brings kind of a relief, a new hope, or something that you can be. If we call, I wanted to become a better person. And what is this better person? And what is the limit? What is the goal? Normally, we don't have much goal. You say you should be a good person. That means you don't harm other people. Then we don't go much more than that. So nowadays, in the almost 3,000 years ago, Buddha came with this solution. You can become like this, you can become like this, you can also become like this. So this teaching is still in this the world going crazy at this moment. We can still have a special access to this, and you should thankful for your past life, whatever you have done in the past, what something amazing prayers, what you have done. So you can hear all this sort of thing, because no cause, no result. And then it's so beautiful that you don't need to go to India to listen to all these teachings directly. And with the kindness of the Shantideva Center and the amazing staffs, the working team make this happen. So I thank all the audience and the Shantideva members for organizing. Okay, so then so this is for the we go by name. Oh, for Jennifer. Yeah. So it comes from comes from the center itself, or who from
Yeah, all of it.
from all of us. Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Heart to heart. And then Sheila. Thank you. Thank you. Heart to heart. And then Sunny. What's that? Sunny? Oh, okay. It's called Sunny, or how do you say that?
Sunny.
Sunny. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Okay. And then Sean. Oh, okay. And there's the snake. Okay, the two people are not here is George's or my host, and the one is Bonnie. Bonnie. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much once again. And when I first came here, center itself very good, but then ultimately what you feel is the teamwork looks beautiful here. So this is a gift. So the community, when we say we take a refuge in three jewels, so one is Sangha. This is the community. When the community is so peaceful and works very well, and ultimately that's a refuge. So you are a very good team. So Sneh. Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So the rest, I will leave this here. So
And should we do prayers? Yeah. Maybe could we offer a short mandala through the thank you. So page 12 of the main text. Oh, Sashim Boki Joshim Rama Idam Nuratna Mandala Punyayataya. Om Swasti, may all be auspicious. O charming Lady of Seven Eyes, Supreme Mother of the Triumphant, exceptional deity skilled in bringing a great rain to fall of the actual attainments of deathless long life, positive potential, and deep awareness, please grant here and now the utmost in fulfilling the aims of my prayers. By the force of your matchless, dedicated heart to uphold the teachings, may you live a long life to further the essence of the deep and extensive guidelines that the Able One taught, as a Lord wielding power over the ocean of reason and speech, as a lamp for the teachings of the excellent-minded. For the sake of leading to a state of peerless, enduring bliss, all wandering beings oppressed through bondage to their compulsions and disturbing minds, may you live a long life fulfilling all infinite hopes through the extensive deeds of your stainless three enigmatic gates. May your dedicated heart once more reach out to strive, serving the triumphant one's teachings through your three pure rounds. I request you long to remain as a guiding light for wandering beings in accord with your will in the lands of disciples in every direction. By the power of the inspiration from the hosts of lamas, deities, and protectors, by the force of the truth of non-fallacious dependent arising, by the strength of regard from the exceptional resolve of myself and others, may all the aims of my prayers be exactly and fully fulfilled. And then the dedication prayers. Having thoroughly investigated in accord with all that I have heard day and night through the four reasonings, mind born of reflection on these topics of contemplation, may this discernment sever all doubts. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All-powerful Chenrezig Tenzin Gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma, and by completing the qualities of the grounds and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. I fully dedicate all these virtues to be able to train just like the hero Manjushri, who knows reality, and just like Samantabhadra as well. I fully dedicate all my roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the gone beyond victorious ones of the three times in order to have good conduct. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or one spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. And for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, fearless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Prajaka Buddhas, victorious Losang, father and sons, along with their lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings, through explanation and practice you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable Venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings you suddenly departed to peace, what a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples.
Oh, Sean. Sean. Thank you. You were saying you too hard. Okay. For you. Yeah. Okay.
Shay.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
I always, the Zoom people, I always forget to say bye and hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rinpoche.
Thank you,
everyone.
Rinpoche.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rinpoche.
barely see some faces here. Oh, now I can see them. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
sending lots of love and a big hug from Brooklyn. Okay,
Yo.
from everyone. Okay. Okay. Thank you. See you. Okay.